Welcome back. Last time we took a look at the R&D decisions section of CAPSIM's foundation simulation. We started looking at the low-tech customer segment and its buying criteria. We noted that these buyers are generally looking for products with lower prices and are well established with ages around 3 years old. They appreciate reliability, measured by MTBF, but don't prioritize it as highly as others do. The final buying criteria is the ideal position, shown on the perceptual map. The perceptual map is a visual representation of two variables that represent customer desires. Those variables are size of the sensor and performance of the sensor. We could have chosen two other variables, such as reliability and price, but in this case, size and performance are preferable because they represent moving targets with time. Like many electronic products, say cell phones for example, there's a general trend towards smaller and higher performance products. We may not see size as changing much in cell phones today, but we are definitely a far cry away from the bricks carried around in the 1980s. For our sensors, our customers expect size to decrease and the performance to increase. But, much like buying criteria, there is a difference between the tastes of the low-tech segment and the high-tech segment. The low-tech segment is less demanding of rapid innovation. Every year, the ideal position of the low-tech segment will increase in performance by 0.5 units and will decrease in size also by 0.5 units. This means that the ideal position will, over time, migrate on the chart down and to the right. This is predictable and, as product designers, we want our new products to hit the market where it's going to be in the future. As we will discuss later, the high-tech segment migrates at a larger rate. Performance targets decrease 0.7 and size drops 0.7 each year. Now at the start of the simulation, we begin with one product, Able. If we look where it lies on the perceptual map, we can see that it occupies an awkward position between the center of the two different market segments. It would seem that our parent company suffered from one of two problems, both of which often occur in monopoly situations. First, the complacency of a large firm may have rendered us slow, fat, and unable to appropriately respond to changing market tastes. It is natural and easy for a firm to offer one-size-fits-all approaches. Innovation is hard and potentially risky, and that is why it requires pressure to motivate us to maintain a technological edge. Only through market discipline and competition are we forced to innovate. Now that we have competitors, we need to better target our customer segment or others will. The second problem our parent company may have experienced is that the larger the company, the greater the need for standard processes, policies, and habits to emerge in the name of administration and efficiency. Processes, policies, and habits form the glue that keeps an enterprise together as the work becomes more distributed. However, this glue often creates excessive rigidity that makes it difficult to respond to an evolving market. It becomes too costly to evolve. This tendency for large firms to fail to respond to a changing market is the reason why monolithic firms like General Motors, IBM, and Sears struggle and are displaced by younger upstarts called Toyota, Apple, and Amazon. In our scenario, fortune has provided us an opportunity. We have been blessed with a small bureaucracy and increased competition. Had this not occurred, our product's placement on the perceptual map foreshadowed our doom had another firm entered our industry. We now have a chance to provide for our future through the urgency to innovate. To finish up our discussion of perceptual maps, although both ideal positions for the segments are tending in the same direction, over time the two positions will become increasingly separated from one another. Clearly, our previous strategy of designing one product to meet the tastes of both groups is doomed to fail. We need to consider if we want to focus on creating a product geared toward one segment or to create multiple products that addresses each segment individually. Also remember that the ideal position next year will be different than the ideal position this year. Aim for where it's going to be when the product hits store shelves rather than where it is right now. In the next video, we will compare the customer buying criteria between the low-tech and high-tech segments. and begin to compare how the products we build for each segment look very differently.